You think those tattoos are just ink on a prisoner's body? They're actually Michael's blueprint for breaking out. He hid chemical formulas inside the tattoos ahead of time. Then he swiped a bottle of reagent from the prison supply room. He also got a bottle of sewerweed killer through a mob boss. Next, he squeezed out his cellmate's toothpaste and his own. He refilled the tubes with the 2 different chemicals. While Dr. Sarah wasn't looking, he poured them into the drain. Mixed together, the chemicals created a highly corrosive liquid. That way, it could eat through the pipes, laying the groundwork for the escape. Sucre held up a mirror to keep watch. Once he saw no guards, Michael unscrewed the sink to start a hole. But breaking through that wall was only the beginning. There were still a bunch of rooms between here and the outer fence. The infirmary was the closest room to the outer wall, so they chose the infirmary as their exit, and they needed a passage from the cell to the infirmary. Michael slid a slip of paper into the mortar to test the depth. When the hole was almost ready, he had Sucre make some noise. Other inmates got annoyed fast. Covered by the shouting, Michael kicked the wall hard. In no time, he opened a big hole. He slipped out of the cell in secret. But that was only step 1. Michael still needed time to map the route out. The next day, when he returned, the warden was sitting in his cell waiting. A bad feeling hit him right away. The warden had also noticed the screw hole dripping water. Luckily, he didn't think anything of it, but he did bring worse news. Orders from above said Michael would be transferred, and it would happen the next day. Hearing that, Michael begged the warden to stop it. The warden wouldn't budge. Michael had come to prison to save his brother. His brother had been framed. A shadowy group had faked the surveillance footage. During the investigation, they discovered Lincoln had a brother named Michael. Michael was locked up for robbery in the same prison as his brother. They figured out what Michael was planning and called a mysterious woman right away. Clearly, she was the real boss behind the scenes. She ordered her people to pressure the warden. They forced him to transfer Michael out. Michael refused to give up. He went to see Cooper, who'd done 80 years inside. Cooper said there was a simple fix. Michael just had to file a request, claiming he wasn't feeling well. If the higher-ups rejected it, the paperwork alone would take at least a month. For that month, nobody could move Michael anywhere. Michael did exactly that. When the warden saw the request, he had to admit Michael had learned a lot in prison. Since the request was legit, the warden let it slide with a smile. Michael went back to the escape plan. He asked Sucre to hang laundry as a cover. Michael squeezed into the crawl space in their cell. He looked for a path toward the infirmary, but a solid concrete wall blocked the way. Roll call happened at random, over and over. He never had enough time to break through that wall. He could barely get a few swings in before Sucre would call him back. Just when Michael ran out of ideas, sharp-thinking Sucre came up with one. If all the inmates were thrown into the SHU, the guards wouldn't waste time patrolling. There wouldn't be roll call either. That would give them time to dig a tunnel. The only problem was how to spark a riot and get the inmates sent to solitary.